So our Horde of the Dragon Queen campaign ended after around 30 episodes, and we decided we were going to continue on into playing Rise of Tiamat, but we knew we were going to have a little bit of a change up in the cast, so we did that. We switched up and kept Katie and Laura stayed as Odella and Roswin. We added in Celeste as a new character, a male human bard fighter named Leo. And in that time, from the end of Horde of the Dragon Queen to the start of Rise of Tiamat, a whole year had passed. We had a small off-screen, offline little game to introduce the characters. In the time off, the Belladonnas had built a pie shop in the town of Scornabel called the Primp and Pie, and we basically introduced Leo to the world. So what happened in the first couple episodes, to catch you up, is Leosin, the Harper agent they rescued from early on in Horde of the Dragon Queen, beckoned the party to Waterdeep. They told them, essentially, things are crazy. The Drakhorn sounds, which is this massive relic that basically calls all dragons to it. It freaks out a bunch of animals, that kind of things. They go to the Council of Waterdeep, and this is extremely important as the Council of Waterdeep plays a part and is a large focus of the entirety of Rise of Tiamat. And there they meet several key members of a bunch of different factions, basically all of your base factions in Dungeons & Dragons. The Order of the Gauntlet, the Emerald Enclave, the Zentarum, etc. They also meet with several nobles from the Lord's Alliance, Daggle Nevermember from Neverwinter, Conrad Brawnanvil from the Dwarves in Mithril Hall, King Melindrak of the Elves, and so on. And basically one of the masked lords who's there tells them their husband was slain by the Cult of the Dragon, Drakhorn sounds, and they ask the party, we've heard good things, but we want to hear your account of what you did. So the party regales the council with their epic tales from Horde of the Dragon Queen, and they basically receive essentially a license to kill from the Council of Waterdeep. You guys are going to be working for us, but this basically license that you have will let you do what you need to do, and it says that it's on behalf of the Council of Waterdeep. Their first mission is to pursue Varram the White Dragon Wyrmspeaker, or to find Macath the Crimson, a researcher of the Arcane Brotherhood, supposedly lost somewhere in the north, and she was the leading scholar knowing about the Drakhorn. Party decides they're going to hunt down Varram, and he was last sighted in the Serpent Hills near the Borskaya Bridge. They leave a sending stone with Leosin to head them off. Before they head out, the party decides to have one night in Waterdeep. Leo goes on an adventure to buy some tobacco, meets somebody, invites them to the club they're going to go to. They're going to go to the Three Pearls nightclub in the Dockboard and listen to Daft Monk playing their music. So some tattoos are gotten. They visit the old monster shop and meet a character that I created named Dirk, who is a southern style lover of critters. They buy some new mounts. They invite Dirk to the club, and there they all party and sort of have some downtime character moments to discuss the world before Leo leaves, showing off his true charismatic nature with two companions for the evening. So once they set out towards the Borskaya Bridge on the trail of Varram the White, they met a bunch of people there in the kind of tent city around the Borskaya Bridge. They met the halflings of the Grinning Ponies. They learned a little bit about the area. They stocked up on supplies and got some information from Leosin that Varram was looking for an ancient tomb that supposedly had a divination pool that could answer questions of any kind. They sought out through the desert, had some interesting encounters, found the tomb itself, took out some trolls, entered into the cavern itself, and upon entrance fought a strange chimera creature made out of mosaic tile. And then, at this point, I think I'm going to let Celeste recap everything going forward, as she started doing recaps for all of the episodes for me, and I think I'll just cut those together in bits. That way you guys can get each arc done, and we can get everything uploaded here to Nerd Immersion Plays. The first Celeste recap, too long. Basically, they're going through the Tomb of Diderius, trying to find where Varram is held. They encounter a whole bunch of different things. They meet a ghost librarian who is looking for books to be put to rest. They meet some bearded devils who are hanging out because they're basically the only people left from Varram's contingent, as most of the cultists have died. They eventually learn that they work for Zariel, the Archduke of the first layer of Avernus, and Zariel wants Tiamat out of her area, so that she's trying to pitch some forces towards them. They travel through. Odella gets run over by a giant rolling ball of skeletons, and basically they find out all the while Diderius is speaking to Leo in his head, telling him to be respectful and different things to do to avoid certain areas. And eventually they are told they need to go through a dark portal to be able to continue on to find Varram. In doing so, they enter an area just bereft with Yuan-Ti. Turns out the Yuan-Ti kind of use this place to worship, and they eventually find Varram, and through a, I'd say, relatively well-handled negotiation, they have Varram turned over to them, and they leave without slaughtering any additional Yuan-Ti, and bring Varram back to the Council of Waterdeep for interrogation and questioning, and that's kind of wraps up the White Dragon Wyrmspeaker section of Rise of Tiamat.